This is Scott from the Southview Farm, and today we're doing some soil sampling. And we're out here in our hay bottom, and uh, we haven't been getting the kind of yield off the hay that we think we ought to be getting off this hay field. So we decided to do some soil sampling and see what this field needs. This field's been neglected for a long time, and so I called down the extension office, asked them if this is October, asked them if there's a certain time that I need to do field or soil samples. Our extension officer said nope. Anytime is good to do a soil sample. So it's what we're doing today. We cut the hay there a few weeks ago, our third cut, and decided it'd be a good time for us to go ahead and get the soil sample and get that sent in. Also, our neighbor's the same way. He's doing the soil samples too. I've already got his samples. I've just got to take them with mine down to the extension office. Now this field here's what I've measured off of Google is about 7.7 to 8 acres. It has during the cool season, during the spring, it has a lot of timothy, orchard grass, fescue, white red clover. Then as the warmer months come in, warmer season grass comes in, I've got a lot of Johnson grass down along the edges. This field's got a little bit of a drainage problem that we've got to work on, so I'm starting to get a lot of flat sage coming through it, kind of like a swamp grass rolling through it. So we've got a lot of work to do this field. I'd like to get the drainage issues fixed up. I'd like to get the uh, uh, Johnson grass out of it, and just make the field a lot healthier. But anyway, we're going to start taking some soil samples. On the soil sample, all you need, I talked to the extension officer, and he said all you need is just go down, get you about 6 inches or whatever, pull that top layer of that grass or whatever, doesn't need none of that stuff. It just wants the top layer pulled off, throw it in a bucket, you just mix it up. Where this field's about almost 8 acres, we're going to go around in about probably about 8 more spots or eight areas and take a soil sample in different areas. We've got and you want to take soil samples in different areas because you've got different nutrients in different areas of the field. Over here in the middle, we've got water that comes off this hillside, and there's it's bringing in nutrients from that hillside, washing it down here. So it'll be different over here than it is over there in the middle. The neighbor over here, he's got is a little larger fields than this, but it's divided up by a creek and a drain that comes off the hill. So he's got about three fields there that's separate. Well, if your creek's coming through here and it floods and a lot of that sediment and stuff washes up here on this field, it don't wash up on this field. So this field's going to have different nutrients than this field. So he's got all his separated up in fields. You got field 1, field 2, and field 3. And you want to separate that stuff like that. That way you're not, if this field needs a lot of, I don't know what, nitrogen or something like that, you won't be throwing a whole lot of that on this, and this field doesn't need it. So that's why you divide that up. But I'm going to go around through here, take some soil samples. Extension officer, he told me he just uses a garden spade. Well, I've got a bunch of garden spades, those little garden spades like that. I've got a bunch of them up there in the barns or scattered around here, but I can't find nothing. So I just grabbed a pair of post hole diggers. I don't guess they're a pair, just a set of post hole diggers, and I'm just going to pull that sod off the top of it, set it to the side, and then I'm just going to dig down a little bit, set my dirt underneath that grass there to the side there, and mix it up, throw it in my bucket, and I'm going to do that 8 times around this field. They also make soil sample cores, core tools, and they're just a stainless steel core tool, and you can buy there's some nice ones out there. They got a little step that you just in the handles, and you step that, put that in the ground, pull it out, and they've got a little plunger that shoves your core out. They've also got cheap ones. Now the expensive ones I was looking at around $80 and up. The cheaper ones are short, and they don't have no way to clean them out. I was just like, well, as often as we do soil samples, I'll just use my garden spade or a shovel or post hole diggers. So that's what we're using today. So I'm gonna go take some samples here, and we'll get right back with you. All right, so I had to move over to a different part of the field. I took the first sample over there, tried to videotape it, and realized the daggone microphone wasn't connected. So apologize for the audio issues, but this is what I did, or what I'm doing. I'm just taking some old post hole diggers, getting that sod or grass off. I think these are duller than a butter knife. And I'm just going down a little bit. I kind of set the grass off over to the side here to your right. And I'm setting the soil that I'm going to get a sample from over to your left or my right. I've got my hole down just a ways there, probably from my sleeve here to the end of my hand. And then I'm just going to mix this up here. Just kind of mix it up a little bit. I mean, it looks all the same to me. I don't know. I'm going to go take a handful, throw it in my bucket. And I'm just going to cover that back up. Like I said, it'd probably be a whole lot easier if you just had a little garden trowel. I couldn't find mine. But this is my second hole, or second sample. And we'll do that about 6 more times around this field. And then I'll get right back with you, and I'll show you how I'm going to package this to go to the lab. All right, so I went around the hay bottom, and I got I guess about 8 different samples around different areas of the hay bottom. I especially picked out places where different plants and stuff was like that was growing. I didn't ever go too far to the edge. I stayed about 30-40 foot off the edge and took samples there. Went down through the middle, got samples there, got samples where the water and stuff like that runs off the hill here behind me into the hay bottom. And all I did was just pull a handful of dirt, dug down with the post hole diggers, and set the dirt off the side, mixed it all up, and just took a handful and just put in this bucket. And that's what I got out of 8 samples. It doesn't take a whole lot of dirt. That bucket's about ready to fall apart. And this is my neighbor's sample here off his field. And this is how we're going to package them. We just put them in the samples in the Ziploc bags, take them down to the extension office, and he's put his name and put what field number the samples from. So I'm just gonna have one sample where I've got one field. His is divided up into 3 different fields. I'm just gonna have one sample I'm gonna take down for my hay bottom. Now the garden, I'm gonna separate that because I know the garden has had probably had a lot more fertilizer on it. The garden area has had a lot more fertilizer on it, and I know that we've put horse and hog manure and stuff like that on that garden. So I'm gonna do it as a separate soil sample. But this is part 1 of this video. I'm gonna have part 2 when we receive the results in for the with the samples, and go through those samples. And we're going to see what we need to put on this field and see if we can get that hay yield to increase. But I want to thank you for watching the video. And if you kind of like videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time on the Southview Farm.